All right, so I made it. I'm at the Paris airport. In France for the first time, in Europe for the first time. This will be a good trip. So I'm probably gonna see a lot of the tourist attractions, but I am hoping to see a couple hidden gems. Who knows how well that works out. I have a really sweet Airbnb. Super stoked to check that one out. It looks really nice. But first, I got some errands to run, so let's go and do that. Okay, so I don't know why, but data SIM cards here in Paris seem to be hard to find. I couldn't find any at the airport. I went to the Orange Telecom store. That was kind of a big bus. That was the main goal. But check it out. I made it to my Airbnb. It's pretty sweet, actually. It's in a super vintage building right here by the subway. Just look at this place. It's honestly pretty perfect just for me. Got a little, it's a perfect room, but the views here are the best. All right, here's Paris. Eiffel Tower right there in the distance. Beautiful. And look at this. Look at this view. The Sacré-Cœur, I think that's how you pronounce it, right there. Like a couple blocks away. Oh, a gorgeous view right here. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. So nothing fancy, but ooh, this is gonna be good. Whew. All right, I think I'm in the Montmartre area. Honestly, I'm not very good at pronouncing things in French, so it's probably way off. But yeah, I think I'm gonna explore this area, check it out, and get off to the Sacré-Cœur. I think that's what you call it. But yeah. Alrighty, so I made it to the top. It's not even that busy. Pretty good viewpoint, but we'll continue on. So right beside the Sacré-Cœur is one of the oldest churches in Paris, over 600 years old. Pretty crazy. So I walked the streets of Paris just admiring the architecture, and I went back to my Airbnb and I sort of passed out. So it's today, it's the next morning, and yeah, I've got a lot planned. The weather's changing a little bit in Paris. It's January, so to be expected. I've changed up the things I was gonna do today. It's still gonna be a lot of fun. It's jam-packed these next couple days with things to do. So yeah, we're gonna get out there, explore, and have a little fun. All I seen for a few blocks away was this big white statue. Yeah, so I'm gonna have breakfast here in the park and then hit some places up. Got some sandwiches, some orange juice, we're all set. All right, so I think I'm gonna go in here next. There's a couple of museums right here. And this is as close as I've gotten to the Eiffel Tower too. It's right there. You can see it. So yeah, I'm gonna check these places out. A couple war museums, Napoleon tomb, which looks pretty cool. I don't know what to expect, but it should be fun. All right, so that one's still closed. Still a little early in the morning. I'm gonna keep walking around, see where I end up. So it looks like this museum's about to open up. I have no idea what it's about, but I don't know if I cited this yet, but I got a museum pass here. Gets you into all the museums, so it's cold out. I'm gonna go check it out. So it was a lot of sculptures, a lot of paintings. It seemed like an assortment of a lot of random stuff. I didn't spend too much time in here. And yeah, now I'm off. I'm walking back over here to the War Museum. I think it'll be more interesting. But they had some interesting paintings. I did like some of the paintings. A lot of super old stuff you just don't get in North America. And yeah, I'm gonna head back to where I started my day. All right, so I've spent a couple hours here now. There's like 3 or 4 museums all connected in the same spot. Originally, I just wanted to see Napoleon's tomb because it sounded so creepy and weird, and it didn't disappoint. It was so strange, like a memorial to their whole family there. So the other 3 or 4 museums were really hard to distinguish the difference between them. One was towards the freedom of France, I believe. The other one was a war museum, and the other one was a 3D models and stuff like that. It was overall pretty good. Yeah, they could have just made it all into one, I think, and that would have probably been better, but leaving it now. Yeah, that's old like military camp from Napoleon. They used to house, yeah, lots of history in that building. Yeah, so I basically seen a whole bunch of people waiting outside this museum, so I had to go in. That's just how I roll. Okay, so there was a reason this museum was so popular and had such a long line. Just to get in, they had like airport security. So when I finally entered, it was really good. This is actually an old train station from the early 1990s. So it fits really well with all these old pieces of works of art from 100, 150 years ago that they display. It was 5 floors just of interesting, fun exploring around. These were some of my favorite pieces of the works they displayed. Obviously, I'm not an art critic. I just go by what I see and like. After I walked east and explored the Latin quarters. This is super famous, more touristy stuff. I know I did it. But the narrow streets, all the shops, it was actually really cute, and surprisingly, I just didn't see a lot of cars driving up and down these streets. I could definitely see why this part of town's so touristy. It definitely won't disappoint you. It's actually the next morning. I got more big things planned for today. And I'm starting it off by, I booked an early time at the Louvre. One of the world's biggest museums. It's gonna be good. I wasn't gonna go there, but I got the museum pass. It covers it. Plus, I've seen some really interesting stuff other than the Mona Lisa that everyone goes there to see. So hopefully I get to see some good stuff, and I do have a lot planned for today. I don't know if I'm gonna get it all done or not. We'll find out. All right, so the Louvre is just as good as everyone says it is. Not disappointed at all. If there's one museum you probably want to go to, it's going to be this one. Some of the other ones, especially yesterday, I don't know if I would have personally paid for it, but I had the museum pass. If you don't have the museum pass, you could easily spend a day at the Louvre. And now we're going to move on. We're at this park here, and yeah, we're going to see a couple things on this island. So everywhere I went today, it was closed. It was closed. It was closed. It was closed. Just no luck. Everything seemed to be shut down today. But I found a nice little spot to hide. This is an old Roman amphitheater that back in the day, who knows what they did? Little concerts, a little fighting, who knows? And it's pretty sweet here. Check this out. So I finally made it. This is close as I've been to the Eiffel Tower yet. I've been in Paris for a couple days. Finally gonna see it. I've seen it like in a distance, but this is the real thing. I'm gonna get up and close and personal. But there it is. Finally made it here. All right, so this square right here is supposed to be one of the best places to get pictures of the Eiffel Tower. And there it is. Let's see if I can do it. So there's like 100 million people on the bridge, but no one's down here. Just underneath the bridge here. Great spot to take a picture. All right, now one of the most famous spots to get a picture in Paris. The Eiffel Tower right there, it's just about to light up. Of course, what's next? I think you can go up there, I'm not really sure. I still have my Paris pass, but I'm not too sure if they're even open. Find out. Woo! I made it up top. So I actually didn't know you could go up to the Arc de Triomphe. So it was a good surprise. Another monument built by Napoleon in the early 1800s. Anyways, it's the next day. It's my last day in Paris, and a lot of things are closed today. There's a movement going on. So my plans were actually canceled, what I originally had planned, but I found some other fun things to do. A lot more walking, but I think these are going to be more of the hidden gem stuff that I was looking for, and see what happens. But I do have some fun things I want to check out. All right, so I found this park online, obviously, and it hasn't disappointed. Super picturesque, really nice. I spent a couple hours here now, not disappointed. So I found another park. This one's pretty isolated. It's nice though. The lookout wasn't as good as I thought it would be, but you really feel like a local in this park. So I don't know how famous of an attraction this is or not. I'll let you decide. But here I am on this street here. It's super famous, well known in Paris for its street art and the surrounding streets around here. So I'll show you it. And this is one of the oldest houses in Paris. Yeah. Apparently it's from 1404. That's what the internet says, so I believe it. So I'm not sure how accurate all these stuff are, but this is the narrowest street in Paris. Apparently. All right, so this is the oldest tree in Paris. So much random stuff. Yeah, I just found some random things to look up and walk around and do. I'm having a pretty chill day today. I felt like I was running around quite a bit the last couple of days, so today I've just been taking it easy, wandering the streets, just doing whatever I want. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this tree's seen better days. I don't know what it is about the Paris Opera that I find so interesting. It's just that they built this building like 400 years ago. I couldn't imagine how big and massive it would have been compared to everything else. But to end my final day in Paris, this is the rooftop lookout terrace. A local told me about this. I guess it's not as a hidden gem as I thought it was because it was pretty busy up here. But it's free to go to, right across the street from the Paris Opera. And you get some really amazing city views. So that's it. That was my first time in Paris. Had fun, did lots of walking, lots of stuff. I hope you enjoyed my little solo adventure out here. And episode 2, I'm heading down to southern France.